Hi folks, Howard at Ragland Piano Company with just a quick video giving you some more information about our hide glue, specifically hot hide glue, not to be confused with hot glue, which has nothing to do with this type of glue. And related but not in this video is liquid hide glue. We're talking about the granular form that we sell on several channels, including eBay and Amazon, that is basically a granulated glue that's been used for thousands of years for gluing wood, fabrics, and that sort of thing. It comes in different gram strengths. Now, this is not talking about the strength of the glue itself, but rather referring to what amount of force in grams it takes to push a rod of a set diameter, a set distance into the glue once it gels. Therefore, 192 is going to have a longer set time because it only takes 192 grams of force to push that rod into it. At 444 is going to set a lot quicker because it takes more force to push that same rod into that glue. You can look that formula up if you want to. It's an interesting formula because it mixes metric and our United States measurements together in the same formula. So when you see 192 gram strength glue, this is going to be the glue right here that most luthiers prefer. The high clarity means that this is a little bit more refined and the glue joints are going to be less visible. A regular strength glue like this one, the glue joints may be a regular clarity, excuse me, strength glue may have slightly more visible glue lines, and even the glue, the high clarity, looks a little bit cleaner, as you can tell. If you're going to be doing joints with furniture that are going to be visible, get high clarity. If you're just gluing like we do, felt to piano parts, either one's going to be fine, and there's not a huge price difference. If you're only going to buy one batch, go ahead and buy the high clarity. For, as I mentioned, luthiers really like the 192. It has about the right amount of working time when you're going to be doing repairs on violins or guitars, that sort of thing. And one of the benefits of hot hide glue is the fact that you can heat and occasionally use a little bit of water as necessary to separate these glue joints without damage to the instrument, or with very little damage to the instrument, even hundreds of years later on. Our more modern glues, such as aliphatic resin, carpenter's wood glue, and that sort of thing, have materials in them that make that much more difficult to do. In addition, a lot of those glues have a tendency to creep. What creep means is this glue joint right here, this is done with hot hide glue, this entire instrument was. Glues that creep will move, or hence creep, when tension is applied to a joint. And so that is one strong advantage that the hot hide glue has over some of the more modern glues like aliphatic resins. All right, now, a common question I get, how do you mix this? There's different formulas online. Some people like to do this. Some people really get into it. Let me show you how I like to mix it. Take a jar. I pour the glue in. I pour the water in until it just covers the crystals. There, that's how I like to mix it. No fancy flasks and none of that. Then you can either leave it sitting in the refrigerator overnight, or you can just put it straight on in there and let it cook. In a couple or 3 hours, I'll have the glue will be melted into the water there. I'll stir it up. If I need thicker glue, I add some crystals, or I leave the cover off and the water evaporates. If I need thinner glue, I add a little bit of water, stir it, and let it sit 5 or 10 minutes to get back up to temperature. Hi folks, one thing I forgot to point out is that this we're using as a double boiler. Some of you probably already saw that, but there is water inside the original jacket here that we then set the glue down in. And it's also important to keep the water level at least as high as your glue. Otherwise the glue is going to skin over and be harder to use. So there's a couple more tips there that I forgot to include when we shot this originally. Speaking of temperature, at one point in time there was a company named Hold Heat that made a glue pot. A nice glue pot, expensive, right on the money as far as temperature. We want these to be at about 145 degrees and no more. If you exceed Fahrenheit, if you exceed 145 degrees Fahrenheit, it alters the protein chains in the glue, and then it loses its strength. It's not as strong. So it's very important that you don't cook the glue like we cook food and change the protein chains. This will cook, it is an animal product, and when that happens, you've lost the strength of the glue. This right here is actually just a wax warmer. You can pick these up on Amazon, on eBay, at a lot of different places. It's made for warming wax, as I understand it, that is used in hair removal and that sort of thing. Now, don't trust the temperature on the dial. These are not that accurate in my experience. So I will take a thermometer. I don't think I have one around here, but you use just an ordinary, is there one? Oh, it's over on this side. Just an ordinary thermometer that will read past 150 degrees, and I'll immerse that without the glue in there into the water. And then I probably made a little mark on a piece of tape on here. You do it however you want to, that says exactly where you are, where you need to be. And this is in Celsius, so you'll need to do some conversion there. I don't remember. Maybe we'll drop in a little picture that says what the conversion for 145 is. I bet you can do that, can't you, Daryl? So we'll drop in a little number that tells us what in Celsius that is. But these are fairly inexpensive, $35, $40 at the time we're making this video. And this is what we choose to use. You can see I've got one. We've been using this batch of glue and adding to it for months and months. I'll go years at a time. But that's because we use it every day. If you let this sit up for a week or so, think about it like food. It will mold and it will stink. If that happens, throw it out and make a fresh batch. But one of the things I like to do, what I'll do after this is melted down, is I get a lid. I actually like canning jars. I use that one for, I don't know for what reason, but the canning jar, it's got a screw lid if I need to screw the lid on to go somewhere, and I'll punch a little hole in this inner seal right here for the glue stick to stick through, and then I don't lose as much water and thicken the glue through evaporation like that. But that's actually what how I mix the glue and how I treat it in the glue pot. And at night we turn the power off and it cools off, and in the morning we turn the power on, it comes back on, and I don't have any problem with this going bad because it's heated every day. Talk about a couple of additives. Look online, do some research for yourself if you want to try doing this. But there are some additives that you can put in the glue, like salt or urea, that will extend the working time for the glue, somewhat at the expense of strength. However, even when you do that, the glue itself is still stronger than the wood. So even though you're sacrificing a little bit of strength, in most cases it's still going to be very sufficient for your needs. We use this all the time to glue. Just kind of, you mix it the consistency you want. We use this all the time for gluing felt to wood. It spreads just like an ordinary glue, and blam, there I am. Now sometimes thicker felts like this will absorb a lot of the glue and then it'll try to fall off on you. If that's the case, a lot of times I will paint a coat on here as well and even let it partially gel for about 5 minutes and then put a little bit more on it and put it in place. So it's fantastic for piano parts. I've already mentioned we use the 192 high clarity for wood-to-wood joints and cabinet work. I like to use the 379 regular clarity in the piano shop because it grabs very quickly. We even sell 444 if you want to work really fast. and we sell a lot of different grades in between. A lot of piano technicians like 251. That's probably one of the most common sizes used by piano technicians, and some like 280. Player piano guys, I kind of like that 222 to the 251 range. So all of these different gram strengths have different open times, and try to pick something that's going to flow with your workflow, your speed there. I touched briefly on this. This is a great glue also. We don't sell this. You can pick this up in home improvement stores, and again, you can also order it online. Now this will have some additives in it that we talked about, and this is not a non-toxic glue. This has warnings on it that you would need to heed. Our hide glue is actually, according to the manufacturer, now don't try this at home, folks. Our hide glue is non-toxic. Let's see here. And it tastes great. That's pretty good. Are you catching the crunch? Yeah, don't try that at home. We do pack all of our glues with a humidity packet to keep it dry during storage and transportation. We also pack instructions with this that go over a lot of what I just talked about. If you have any questions, drop me a comment. Feel free to give me a like on this, spread the word on this. Yeah, don't try that at home. That's actually sugar in the raw, which admittedly looks a whole lot like our hide glue. But I'm sure this isn't going to work, but it tastes better than this does, trust me. All right, folks, that's it. Thanks for watching.